Well, hi there and welcome to Bella's Vistas. Well, we've traveled through the mountains, we've been to Alaska, we've driven the Dempster Highway, we've seen so many things. Tombstone Park, wonderful northern lights. It's been just great. I hope you're really going to enjoy this video, and I hope you'll come back and see where we're going to go next. Right now we're trying to plan out our new trip. We don't really know where we want to go. We're thinking about driving the Dempster, maybe up as far as the Arctic Ocean.
What? Craters of the moon? Are you kidding?
What? It was interesting to be here at any rate. Driving along down the road, there's not much room to stop and take photographs except at specific spots. See this piece of lava here? Wow, it's got iron, it's rusty, there's all kinds of chunks of lava everywhere around here. Some moss is growing on it, lichen, things like that. There's 3 pillars of lava coming up from underneath the ground. It was right up about these 3 columns. It's really something to see. Plants were growing along the side of the road, and I stopped to take some photographs of them. I used an extension tube and a 150mm lens on my Olympus to zoom right in on these and try and get some decent photographs. We got let into Twin Falls Gorge, and the fella let us in for free because we had a senior's pass for the national parks. What wonderful waterfalls here. These are just amazing. They let us in here free because we had a senior's pass and we got in. This is called Twin Falls, but there's sure a lot more waterfalls than just 2. Look at this, wow. So beautiful. It was loud, roaring, and really something to see. There was a wonderful rainbow pattern too. They're looking down at some of the falls. There's that rainbow. What a beautiful place to be. Now we're driving through all kinds of oil wells. Look at these oil wells pumping away here. The oil industry was really busy when we were going through. We're about an hour and 40 minutes out of Death Valley now. Wow, this is amazing here. Driving along through the desert, we're headed towards Death Valley. And we're going to have a great trip here. Right along here, something really amazing happened. We're near the Air Force Base, and wow, the airplane, a jet fighter, flew right across in front of us and stood right up on the wing. It filled the whole windshield of our car. It was something unbelievable. It really woke me up. I wish I had the dash cam on when that happened. Headed towards Death Valley. This is the Artist Palette in Death Valley. I've been here a few times. What an amazing place. All the different minerals reflect light in different ways, so you'll see different kind of colors. See the different colors in the palette there because of the sun coming through? Look at that. What a great shot. I really think that's wonderful. At night, wow, the stars so bright and clear in a clear sky. I like to get star trails like this. That's one of my favorite things, is to shoot star trails. Back on the road again. Red rock everywhere you look. Nothing but red rock. Red rock towers, red rock columns, red rock arches. It's amazing. Just following that Mitsubishi that's ahead of us there. Look at the red rocks. Wow. It's amazing. There's a red rock arch just about anywhere you look. A little panorama of some of the scenery. It's just unbelievable. Off in the distance, a big arch over there. You'll see campers parked up here where people are out hiking. There it is. That's the Delicate Arch. That's why I came here, to see the Delicate Arch, and what a beauty it is. Shot it at various times of the day. It's about an hour and a half hike to get up there. It's a little bit treacherous or difficult to get there. And there's the arch. Sunset, beautiful. I love that pool of water off on the right reflecting the sky. It's really something to see. But of course, what I want to see are the stars at night. There's the sun going down. It's getting dark. It's getting cold too. Wow, another day here, sunrise. Beautiful to see. It's a long hike to get up there, and when you go back and forth, the miles add up, but it's really good to be out in nature like this. Wow, stars are coming out now. Look how nice and clear it is. I'm just delighted to be here. I feel so lucky to be able to see this. It's a really long drive to get here. Now, some of the guys are using these red lantern kind of things, or red headlights, and that lights up some of the rocks red like this. And I didn't have a headlight with me there. I forgot it at home, but I got these shots. They were the arches lit up with some flashlights and the star trails in the back.
Well, we've got beautiful weather off to the left of us. Rain up ahead of us, it looks like.
Pecos Pueblo. Look at the cactus flowers around here. What an amazing place. Look at this. This is where the North American natives would meet up with the South American natives and trade hostages and trade goods and whatnot. Here's the park ranger telling us about things. Bella's showing off a bit there. Now I'm underground in one of the kivas. Kiva is a round underground structure where they would build a fire in there and keep warm. There's a wooden top over it to keep the cold desert air off you while you're down in there. It's an amazing place. Now I'm going to try and climb up the ladder here with one hand. I'm sure these ladders are reconstructed, but still want to be careful. Look at this. This is the visitor station, and it's all built out of adobe to fit in with the surroundings. Running down the road again, rocks on either side, just amazing. This is nothing like I'm used to. I mean, wow. Wow, this is Montezuma's castle up on the hill. Look at that place. The natives lived up there, and they lived there. They disappeared at some point in time. Now, the ranger told me that they actually buried their dead in the actual cliffs and everything right in the ground there. And you can see how well it's preserved by the overhang. Now we're driving along Highway 1. We're stopping at various places here. I met a fella here named Russell, and he was making a shore lunch there. He shared some of his mussels with me, Russell's mussels. That was pretty interesting. Look at all the waves and the water here. I was using the long lens sometimes and shooting some HDR, waiting for the action of the waves to really, come in. And it's so amazing. Look at the power of those waves. It's the Pacific Ocean, but it's just as rough as the Atlantic Ocean any day. Look at the beautiful clouds and color. Just delighted to be here. Every day was exciting. I mean, it really was. It's about a 4-month trip that we took. We were in the van, sleeping every night in the van, and trying to get showers where we could. Look at this beach. Wow. I enjoyed this so much. There were several beaches along the road, along the Oregon coast. I'm headed off on Little Drive. We'll go 500 kilometers this way. We're headed to Seal Cove, and then maybe see some icebergs up there. Sure hope we get to see icebergs. That'd be nice. Here we are looking for icebergs. Now, we were going to go fishing. Norm and I were going to go fishing, but that didn't work out because of bad weather. I heard that there were icebergs 5 hours away from where we were, so into the van, head off. And when I checked at the visitor station, I said, "Is this where the icebergs are?" And I was so happy when they said, "Yeah," because I figured they were going to say, "No, you got the wrong seal code." But no, this was the right place. And the people were so nice to us. I wasn't there for 20 minutes, and they took me for a ride out around to get a look at the icebergs so I could get light on them. Next day, wow, the sun's coming up, and we met another fella. He took us out. We were out for about 3 hours going around the icebergs. Now, when you get close to the bergs like this, you can actually hear them sizzling. There's like as they're melting, there's a sizzle going on. I guess gases are being released underwater and things like that. And I was getting my shots, let me tell you. I was really getting shots here. I was loving it so much. The whales were right there. Look at that. I mean, they're close. These whales are very close. There's a whale coming up. You can see the head of the whale. There's the humpback of a humpback whale. What we're looking for, we want to see a tail, a whale tail. That's what I like to see when the whale goes down and you see the tail. Look at, there you go. Look at that. That's what I like, the little drips of water coming off the tail of the whale. That's why we're out here. People are out just having fun, cruising past the icebergs. Look at there. And it's cool too by the icebergs, nice and cool. Look at that Arctic ice, a big chunk of white ice right through the middle of that iceberg. Something to see. And the weather and everything sculpts the icebergs to various shapes. Imagine rain and stuff when they're out at sea. Dawson City. Look at the facades on these buildings. Just amazing. See, it's made to look bigger than it actually is. Horseshoeing. All these buildings have been restored to, well, this is what they look like when they're not restored. Look at the angle and tilt on these buildings. Wow. Mountains to drive by. Wow, we look at this. You'd stop at a place like this and have lunch and watch the light change on the mountains, get some shots. Not always bright and sunny. Look at these seaplanes here, and wow. I'm just delighted that I even got to see places like this. Cruising along. One day just runs into another, and you're driving across these steel bridges. Just driving down to our campsite on Blue Lakes. It's very private. It's just the kind of park up that we look for when we're boondocking. Got water right beside us in case we get some northern lights. I think it's going to be just perfect here. What a great place to park and have lunch, hey? Wow. Unbelievable. Well, this is what our park up looks like in the morning. My good heavens, what a beautiful morning. Look at there. Slow down a bit here. I see something going on at the side of the road. Slow and quiet. Slowly, slowly. Stop. Wow. Look at there. Get them to look at me. I call out to them and then they'll look once in a while. They seem to be busy eating non-stop, just like the bison. They just keep eating and eating. These guys were really amazing. Look at their healthy bears. Their coats are good. Oh yeah. More construction. Never seems to end. This bridge is very scary. It's the wood on the right-hand side. I was afraid it was going to take us out. I really was. And there's people working right there. There's an outhouse for us there anyway. Look at all the construction. That's one thing I noticed this year, that there was construction everywhere we went. There were huge rocks all over the road. These bridges to go across. It's kind of a one-lane bridge. Driving the Dempster, wow. Now, the Dempster's pretty rough, but you'll see things like these bears here. Look at the 3 bears looking back at me. Wow. These gas trucks, wow, it's a double tanker and they stir up some dust, I tell you. See them coming, I would slow right down. I stopped here because I saw this fella up here taking pictures. These ptarmigan, I think they are. He was worried that I was going to scare him away, but I stopped and went and we both got pictures of them. It's just great when you meet some like-minded soul on the road doing the same thing that you're doing. It's just wonderful. So you're far away from the city, that's for sure. Wow. Arctic Circle, here you go. Stopping here because I want to get a picture of the van with that sign in the background. The Arctic Circle, latitude 66, 33 north. Wow, blasting out on the Dempster again. More traveling to do. The road just goes on ahead of us. Now we got a ferry. This amazed me. I didn't know we'd be getting these ferry rides. And they're all free. Like, you'll pull up and if the ferry is on the other side, he just comes back and gets you. Drops you off, and then he'll wait there until somebody wants to go the other way, or he'll cross over and bring somebody. This is Inuvit at the end of the Dempster, and the Igloo Church is here. Now that's as far as you could go on the Dempster when we went up there, but it's been extended all the way to Tuktoyaktuk, or Tuk if you want to call it that way, right to the Arctic Ocean. And you can drive right up to the Arctic Ocean if you want. And I would like to do that. There you see the Igloo Church on the right.
Just put it over there.
Hey?
I'm gonna put some air in your tire.
What? Air on my tire. So it brings me up to this point here and has me stop. They've got an airline there, so I can pump up my tire, but it's leaking bad. There's a rock went through the tire and we've got a bit of trouble with that, so I have to change the tire. So I get under the van, crank it up, the bolts off, and I can take the old tire off, the flat tire off, time lapse, and here I go again. Another flat tire. This time I gotta patch it because we don't have the spares. So you ream out the hole a little bit, then you get a patch and put some rubber on there and you just push that right in. You push it in about 2/3 of the way. When it's in 2/3 of the way, you pull it straight out, being careful not to twist it, because if you twist it too much you'll break the tool and then it's not going to work. So there's the patch. Beautiful wildflowers, look at that. Wowee. What a great trip, I mean it, wowee. Stopping here and there. We've seen so many things along the road here. The wildflowers and the sky, just nice to look at. Forest fires. Now forest fires always make me sad, and there were lots of them on the go because they kill wildlife and everything like that, but apparently fire is a natural thing in the development of the forests, and it's something that just happens. And try to be very careful not to leave any fires or even have any. I didn't have any fires. We cook with propane. Look at these clouds blasting by the mountains. I was so taken with this, just watching these clouds. Tombstone Park. Look at the flowers in the foreground and the Tombstone Rock in the distance. What a wonderful place. So blessed to be here. There's the Dempster mud on the side of our van. Look at that. Got my spare tire on the back. All the Dempster mud on the back of the van. You can see the spare is on the back. And what happened is the tire lift broke and I had to put the flat tire in the van with Bella. She was not impressed with that at all. Bison, just right at the side of the road. Wow, we look at that. I was able to get out. And I kept an eye on their eyes to make sure they weren't going to attack me, but blasting down the highway again here. So there's an awful lot of driving going there. It's just like sometimes it's all day just driving. And you see a big bison like this at the side of the road. Mountains off in the distance. Unbelievable folded mountains. Just beautiful. I think this is fantastic. Some mountain goat. Wow. 3 bears looking at me. So nice seeing the bears. Bison right at the side of the road with mountains in the background. Northern Lights. Wowee. Highland Creek, I think it was. I think this was Highland Creek where we parked up, and look at the lights in the background. Beautiful. Just by night it's nice, and with the stars it's nice. In the morning with the mist, wow. Look at all these highway signs. Unbelievable. It's definitely a great drive. I'd really like to do this again. It's going to be very expensive to do this, and I don't really know how we're going to afford it. I'm thinking about maybe having a GoFundMe page or something to help us get the van totally tweaked out and ready for the road, because it's going to need some work, that's for sure. Beautiful mountains. Wowee. Oh, Canadian Tire. That's in Whitehorse. What a time I had in Whitehorse. It was so nice to meet up with my sister and her family there. Thanks for visiting Bella's Vistas. Please like, subscribe. Come on back again real soon.